Hi, all. So it is November 2nd. I think it's November 2nd. November 3rd. All right, November 3rd. And I did a short form, actually, just a short, I believe, about why you feel like you never quite measure up. So, this, I said I was going to go a little bit longer on it. This is the longer version of it. If I can actually get my stuff going there. Let's see. Okay. All right. Sorry. The coffee has not kicked in yet. And I don't know what this pattern is behind me. I think it's because I have a light in front of me that's shining through the camera. So this might actually be the circuitry of it, which is I'm finding really cool. If you guys find it annoying or anything, let me know, will you? Anyway, so if you find anything useful here, please remember to, in particularly, to like, share, and of course, do comment. Also, if you have any feelings and thoughts on the whole idea, anyway, yourself and experiences, because we've all experienced that sensation of never feeling like we measure up, especially to other people's expectations, and this is kind of where that's going to go. Remember, I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber landmark, so please help me out with a sub, and of course, the comments really help. But more importantly than that is to share the information, particularly if you think any of it is useful. Because we all, again, this feeling of constantly being told that we don't measure up to other people's expectations is very dangerous. We're heading into the holiday season. And holiday season is hard enough, especially just, I go back to, I call it the silly season because Martin Riggs called it the silly season, and, I'm an Xer, so what do you want from me? But it is true. We get so worked up about some of the smallest crazy things that we in this attempt to prove how festive and how into the holidays we are, that we tend to forget that it's really the little things that matter so much, and that the holidays are supposed to be about taking time to appreciate the people in our lives, and not just with gifts and money and all that kind of caca. It's about thoughtfulness and mindfulness and reflection on all these wonderful things that we have, even if they're not everything that we want, even if they're not exactly how we want it. And I often will go down to a very reductivist point of view on this. If you have 2 feet that function and you can walk on them, if you have a heart that's beating in your chest and circulating blood through your body, even if you don't have feet or don't have legs or don't have arms or hands, if you have a brain that functions, if you understand what's going on, and if you can breathe, and sometimes just the act of breathing for some people with respiratory issues is, when you have it, when you can breathe easy for that one moment, it is such a delight. It is something to be so grateful for. So if you have to go reductivist down to the smallest thing that you have or can do it. Because it is truly these little things. You never know how much it means to have a heart with a steady rhythm when you don't have it. You don't know how much it means to be able to take a breath and let it all out when you don't have that capacity on a regular basis. So that's just my little attitude of gratitude thing, but we are going to talk about today about one of the reasons why you probably feel like you can never measure up. First and foremost, the most important question that you need to ask when you start feeling that way, you need to ask yourself, Whose yardstick are you using? The odds are it's not yours. It's someone else's yardstick. And why is it that even as adults, with our own lives and our own successes, our own failures, our own worlds that we live in, away from particular family, of course, why is it that as soon as the holidays in particular come around, or any family gathering really, there's always at least one elder who just loves to make you feel like you're this many. Yes, this many. Sorry, my fingers are a little slow. I told you coffee hasn't kicked in yet, right? They just love to make you feel like you're this many. And they also love to remind you that they changed your diaper. Well, let's face it, somebody had to do it, and I wasn't going to do it. I know what was in there, and so do you. But there's also the ever-loving, I brought you into this world, and I can take you out of it. Well, we're not going to deep dive into that. It's got a whole nother connotation. And a lot of times it's said in jest or in partial jest, but it's one of those things that can make you feel like this when somebody says that. But here's the thing to remember. No matter what age we are when we're with family, they always measure us by their yardstick, which puts us on the defensive. It makes us feel like we have to defend ourselves by using their metric. And there's going to be a lot of folks who are going to say, well, they loaned me money when I was in the hole and they helped me out, blah, 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 which is great, kind, and in the honor of the concept of family, unless their whole purpose in doing it was to hold it over your head for the rest of your life, or the rest of their lives, ingraining into you the guilt you feel for not having measured up to their expectations in the first place because you needed help at one point in time. You shouldn't have needed help at one point in time. But everybody makes mistakes. Everybody screws up. The world that we live in is very different than the world that our elders grew up in. And honestly, if they're the kind of person that does something positive for you just because they want to lord it over you for the rest of their life, again, that also plays into you because it affects your psyche and you carry it with you for the rest of your life too. So, which sucks out loud. And let's face it, getting over that is hard, but it's not impossible. I'm going to be doing a few more videos on some techniques that are going to help you kind of push that aside. But you're going to have to go places in here and in here that you might not be ready for yet. But anyway, if that's their whole purpose, is to make you feel like this every single time they see you, because they keep reminding you that, you know, oh, you failed once, or you had a rough patch once, or however many times, it doesn't really matter. What you've got on your hands is most likely a malignant narcissist. And that is way beyond any of my expertise, but not my experience. So I'm not speaking from a place of expertise, except in the survival of it. I am speaking of it from the sense of someone who has experienced it. I digress. When they bring it up, one of the best replies is simple. And it's just, thank you again. Or, I'm happy to start paying you back if you'd like. We can work out an arrangement. So these simple replies, these two simple replies, usually will do something to either stymie them or set them off on another tangent. Oh yeah, when you get a job, what are you going to pay me back, 25 cents a week? Hey, it's paying you back, right? Which, again, harkens back to my own youth back in the day, long time ago. Story. I bought my first car, bought it myself with my money in 1995. A long time ago. And because I was young and because it was my car, it became my duty to drive from the suburbs into the city to pick up a family member, to take her back out to the suburbs, to celebrate the holidays, and then take her back into the city and then drive back home myself. So this was my duty. And I remember driving her home one night after I had purchased this car. And she asked me, well, why didn't you come to me? I would have given you the money. And there's this little person inside of me that occasionally talks through my mouth. And I don't really understand it, but I think it's kind of like an internal guardian angel, somebody that sometimes says things that need to be said, even if I'm too chicken shit to say it. So, and with this person that was in the car who offered me the money, who said that she would have offered me the money, this was a person to be chicken shit about. Truly, trust me. But anyway, I'm driving, and this little voice just comes right outside my mouth and just says, well, wouldn't you rather that I pick you up and take you home to join us for the holidays because I want to do it rather than I feel obligated to? That woman shut her mouth and did not know what to say for the first time in her life. She immediately changed the subject. I was surprised because I didn't think that that was going to work. But like I said, it was this thing in my mouth, this little guy in the back of my brain just going blah, 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 right outside. And I'll tell you, that's simple. Something that simple. The fact that I recognized, I believe it was the fact that I recognized that she would have given me the money just so that she could have something to obligate me to her over. And that I saw it and didn't even go there. Anyway, so that's a malignant narcissist, or at least that's part of their behavior. But anyway, so if you offer, again, if you offer to work out an arrangement because the payment is absolutely necessary, or because, even though it's like, oh, no, I gave it to you, well, then quit holding it over my head. Okay, you gave it to me, that was a gift. Okay, fine. If not, I will start paying you back and start sending him money. Send him $1 a month if you have to. $10 a month if you can scrape it together. But the nice thing is that when you offer this and they say no, you get the internal satisfaction of knowing that they really just wanted to whip you with what they perceive is your ineptitude. And their need to do that invalidates any altruistic intention that they presented their help with in the first place. And if that's the case, you have no reason to feel beholden to their opinion. You create your own yardstick by which you measure your life, your successes, your failures, and everything that matters to you. Stop using the yardstick that those before you used. It's a different world. Now, I can't possibly cover every potential argument or dig that they might twist into you because God knows I've got an entire library of them up in here. I try to forget them, but sometimes they haunt me. I can give you a few things to remember when they start talking about how they never needed anybody's help or they learned to manage their blah, blah, blah. Number one, again, it's a whole different world out there, and their world, it's back there. It's not valid anymore. Their philosophies on pay yourself first, yes, it's a great idea, especially when it comes to like 401ks and things like that. It's wonderful, but you need a balanced approach to it. Their philosophies on, it used to be that you never rented a place that cost more than 1 week's salary. What? Try that. Split your paycheck in two and see if you can find a place that isn't a refrigerator box out in an alley somewhere to rent for whatever it is that you make. because that dog, she's not hunting. No way. What did things cost back in their day? Inflation is a real thing, and they started it. So, it's not on us. We just have to deal with it and hope that eventually we learn how. Any back in your day comment or comparison should be able to expose their motives in keeping you oppressed or bent to their expectations. And if they keep on, you can always tell them the truth. I have my own definition of success or failure, thank you. I don't need yours. After which they'll inevitably ask you to tell them what it is. And a very simple reply is, that's between me and my yardstick, not me and yours. After all, when you succeed or fail, the most important thing about that situation either way is to learn something from it. Learn from your successes, learn from your failures. So I'm going to stop there. Again, if you have other strategies, please put them down in the comments. Share your wisdom with the rest of us, because we've all been there. We've all gone through it. We've all been measured unfairly by other people's expectations. And it's time we put a stop to it. It's time we hold to our own expectations for our own behavior and hold ourselves accountable rather than somebody else who doesn't live our lives and doesn't live our money, our circumstances, our families, our jobs. They have no right to hold you to their expectations. So it's time we start taking that onto ourselves and say, hey, I know what I need to improve on. You don't need to go there, because I don't want to hear it. You want to talk improvement, improve on yourself. Look in the mirror, because that's what it's all about. Anyway, again, if you find anything interesting or helpful here, please do sub, please like, please share, of course, especially if you know somebody who needs it and is feeling down and nervous and stressed about the holidays coming up, because I know a lot of people are. Me, I'm not. I'm working these holidays. So, it's an easy out. But anyway, no, it's, it's just, I signed up for it and I'm working these holidays, and it's actually good because I do love my day job. Please comment, share it with other people so that we can all learn from each other. Until next time, keep reading, keep writing, keep creating whatever it is you create. Sculpt, paint. I've always wanted to try sculpting. I might have to do that. I was a massage therapist for a lot of years, so I have to wonder how well I could sculpt something, or poorly. Anyway, so keep creating. Together, we will keep hope alive. Thank you for being here. Until next time.